Everybody knows it by now. Ethereum is terrible. Ethereum underperformed Bitcoin by more than 30% since the big event, the merge, where it moved from proof of work to proof of stake. But when everybody knows this by now, maybe there is an opportunity, because we always want to do the exact opposite of what the masses are doing, right? We want to buy Bitcoin when nobody wants to buy it. We want to sell it when everybody wants to buy it. Right now, nobody wants to get into Ethereum. And so have a look at this pretty chart behind me. This is Ethereum relative to Bitcoin. And this big fat arrow over here is the merge. Ethereum underperformed Bitcoin by 36%. The merge wasn't just a sell the news event, it started off a whole cascade of selling pressure. Now we did see a bounce here at the beginning of the year. And that's a support a lot of people had on their radar. A lot of crypto Twitter talked about that support, and so that support became a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? When everybody expects at a certain point in time that nobody will sell there anymore, then this is indeed what will happen. If everybody expects the price to bounce at a certain level, then that's what's going to happen, because people will buy for the bounce, in the end creating that bounce. But those effects are only short term, usually lasting a few days or a few weeks. If we look at the several months, then it's normally better to be contrarian. And so yes, we did see our bounce, but now we are coming back down and we might be revisiting the exact same support after an additional drop of roughly 7%. Now the big question is always, what could propel purchasing of Ethereum? Here's the problem with crypto YouTube. People promoting becoming degen or buying 100x coins. That's what gives clicks, but that's not what's going to bring you forward. I refuse to take money from centralized exchanges. I refuse to take money from crypto projects. I refuse to pump and dump a coin and filling up my pockets in the background. I don't do any of this. Instead, I share my knowledge in the form of tutorials in the premium membership. So that's content that won't do well on YouTube, but that builds up skill over time. You can also directly contact me over there. You can directly pick my brain. Feel free to check it out. TheBitcoinStrategy.com is the link. And I believe the answer could be an Ethereum ETF. An Ethereum ETF, I think, is very likely going to happen at some point. The question is only when. Because why did the Bitcoin ETF get approved? It was approved because of this, right? Grayscale won the lawsuit against the SEC. The SEC initially denied to convert from a Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. The court decided in favor of Grayscale. And so the announcement by the SEC to allow the Bitcoin ETF trading directly referenced that lawsuit with Grayscale. The court at the time reasoned that it should be allowed to have that approval of the spot ETF if there's already a futures ETF, right? A futures ETF is a derivative on the Bitcoin price. A spot ETF is an ETF that holds the actual Bitcoin somewhere in an account. Futures are simply just bets on the price. Now here comes the kicker. Ethereum futures ETFs are already trading. So very similar to Bitcoin, we do have Ethereum futures contracts. We've got ETFs that are based on the Ethereum price. This is bets on Ethereum without physical ownership of the coins in an account. Now here's another reason why there will be an Ethereum ETF at some point. BlackRock has already filed for approval of an Ethereum spot ETF. And again, it was BlackRock that foresaw where the market is going, and it was BlackRock that pushed a lot of other issuers to also file for an ETF. And so I strongly believe that it's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, but just a matter of when, regarding when the Ethereum ETF gets approved. We will get an Ethereum spot ETF at some point, and of course, this will help the Ethereum price, at least short term. It might not help it on the day of the approval, but it will likely help it just in anticipation of the approval. Buy the rumors, sell the news. Will it help the Ethereum price over the long term? So does it make sense to buy Ethereum now and hold it maybe over 5 or 10 years? I'm not so sure, because it's even unclear if the Bitcoin ETF will help Bitcoin that much. Because we've already talked about this in a prior video on the Bitcoin ETF. This is the sum of Bitcoin held by various issuers. And a lot of money is flowing from Grayscale to the other issuers because the other issuers are cheaper, their annual fees are lower. And of course there was some growth. This went from 619,000 Bitcoin to currently 647,000. But a lot of that growth happened at the beginning. Since the 18th of January, there is no more growth. The 18th of January already had 648,000 Bitcoin in all of those ETFs combined. So will the Bitcoin ETF in the end support the price? Will Bitcoin go up because of all of those ETFs? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And so it will be the same for Ethereum. Will people save in Ethereum with their 401ks? I do not know. The only thing that I think is relatively certain is that people will speculate on that ETF. Once there's more information coming out that an approval is imminent, then people will buy Ethereum. And the big question is if this will still happen on time before this support here will be broken. I do not buy any Ethereum now, but I will buy some once we get close to that support again. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. If you've got Telegram, feel free to join us. There's a free channel. Link is down below.